If someone told you that Hitler himself wasn't a true Nazi, you'd be scratching your heads wondering where the punchline to the joke is. But that is just one of the countless stupid things Sneako has said over the course of his career. From openly admitting to being cucked by his girlfriend.
You sat on the bed while she got fucked? I was there too. I mean, we was both, I got up.
To becoming a discount Andrew Tate.
I just want to bully this guy. Like, bring bullying back. Bullying is necessary.
This video will show you all the things you should not do as a content creator. Sneako started off his career like most creators do, by making gaming videos on his channel. When that wasn't bringing in the clout that he wanted, he moved on to making videos where he would give his take on social issues. In 2018, he started a segment on his channel called the 1 Minute Podcast, where he'd go around to public places asking people controversial questions.
White lives matter. You think it's okay to be fat? Do you have a racial preference when you're dating? Would you date a trans person?
After this, Sneako went fully red-pilled and started dishing out extremely controversial opinions in his videos and streams. Some of those opinions borderlined on being sexist and racist.
I can't be racist. I'm everything. And white people, I'll give you this. You're not the stinkiest race. You know who the stinkiest race is. The stinkiest race, I'm not gonna say it because but they drive cabs. Thank you, come on, they smell like curry. Like you can smell the curry come out of their skin. White people, you don't take the stinkiest car.
In particular, Sneako seemed to really enjoy making content reacting to girls doing street interviews. The aim of these videos, if we're being generous, would be to point out flaws in feminist beliefs.
Up ugly anyway, so who even—
All men end up ugly? Nah! This is why we need to body shame more. Look, bro! Come! Look at her! That shit doesn't make you mad?
even really cares?
They men ended up ugly, but I'm 25 and fat as What?
Sometimes he even goes out himself to do the street interview. This one time he asked two girls who they were going to vote for in the next election. When they politely said that they were not invested enough to know, Sneako thought it was an own to ask them if women in general should be allowed to vote.
Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Oh shit. This is gonna sound so like privileged white girl of me, but I'm not that into politics, so I don't have much say on that. Neither, middle, I don't know.
Both you say neither, so should women vote?
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
He takes these interviews as proof that a lot of women can't think as well as men, when in reality, anyone who's caught off guard with tricky questions will get stomped. Sneako himself is proof of this.
I would argue that our society is the least.
It is! Women have the most rights ever right now, and they still act like they're oppressed. They have more rights today than they've ever had.
But so do black people, so do you think black people shouldn't try to fight for more?
Oh, that was a good question.
If anything, Sneako himself gives the dumbest answers in these sorts of situations. Like during a debate he had with Destiny where he blatantly refused to admit something as straightforward as seatbelts making people safe.
Sometimes if you're not wearing a seatbelt, there's instances where people have like literally flown out the windshield because they weren't wearing a seatbelt and they survived. But a seatbelt could trap you in there.
What do you think is more common? Do you understand statistics or probability?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's more common.
Just listening to Sneako talk for 5 seconds will show you just how much his ego gets in the way of basic reasoning. He hates admitting when he's wrong and will often argue incorrect positions with the highest of confidence. Like when he didn't know the difference between the Nazi party and the Aryan race and confidently said Hitler wasn't a true Nazi.
Like Hitler, not Hitler. Kanye was joking when he said that he liked Hitler though?
No, he's being truthful. But he was saying something provocative on purpose. The overall idea, see, people say like, oh look, he's a Nazi. No, he's not, he's black. Yeah, he's not a Nazi. That's the point.
Okay. Yeah, but you said he can't be a Nazi because he's black.
Okay, but he's not a Nazi.
Oh, but not because
he's black.
Just for other reasons.
Well, you also can't be a true Nazi. You have to be blonde hair, blue-eyed. Even Hitler wasn't a true Nazi.
Or like a neo-Nazi, I suppose. Yeah.
I feel like if that's how you're defining Nazi becomes a useless statement. Because if we can't even call the leader of the Nazi movement a Nazi, then
by his own definition, he wasn't part of the master race, so.
Best part of that interaction was definitely him getting owned by a girl, who he, of course, think are inferior to men in every single way. Sneako became as hated as he is today simply off the back of the absolute vile things he said about women.
Feminism has brainwashed these girls into thinking that they need to be all shit like that. What you really want is a good man to yeah, come here, shut the fuck up with your feminism. Shut up, Chad. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. That's what you need. You need that.
It doesn't take a lot of detective skills to see who Sneako models his online persona after. He's a big fan of Andrew Tate and even said that he wants to be the next guy to take over from Mr. Tate.
I want to be the top G one day.
Sneako. And he completely creamed himself.
I'm gonna continue living the life. So, Sneako, young man, if I disappear, I'm passing the torch to you. Keep spreading the message while it's still relevant to...
Now, because he looks up to Andrew Tate and wants to remain in his favor, Sneako goes to the absolute craziest lengths in order to defend or support him.
I think did Tate actually say he took their passports? Yes, he did say that. Okay, so that's how they can't leave then. He actually takes the passports. And he probably lies and he says it's for tax reasons. I think you're glazing right now, bro.
They could have asked for it back. They kicked out many women. Destiny, do you not hear about the podcast? You have selective hearing. You don't hear about how many times these women were acting up and they kicked him out because they didn't know how to obey?
He even went on this tangent where he basically says pimps should be more respected.
Difference in how men are treated now. You know, pimps back in the 70s used to be extremely respected men. Pimps used to be looked at and revered because they were an example of people who were self-governing, who controlled a lot, they were powerful.
And on top of that, he said nobody has the right to criticize Andrew Tate's terrible music if they themselves don't make music.
You know what? I don't think you should be able to fucking make music reviews if you can't make a song yourself. You've never made a song. What do you know about music?
The worst was yet to come for Sneako, as he would soon get into the infamous beef with Charlie, aka Penguin, aka Moist Critical. It all started when Charlie called out a phony story told by the Fresh and Fit crew.
We're both a triple-digit notch count. He's in the quadruples.
There is no reality in the entirety of the multiverse where this man has slept with one woman, let alone over 1,000 of them.
Sneako, being the voice of the voiceless, stepped in to defend his buddies, and instead of rebuffing any of Charlie's points, all he did was show Charlie's girlfriend on the stream.
This is his girl. So there you go. I mean, I told you, like, I could hear it in your voice.
Charlie would respond in kind, exposing Sneako's dark past where he defended and praised a Netflix movie called Cuties, known for sexualizing children.
I first became aware of his content when he got mad at me a couple years ago because I was criticizing a movie called Cuties. For those that don't know, Cuties was a movie that went to Netflix and it was basically just softcore child porn.
Charlie then put the final nail in the coffin by reminding everyone that Sneako himself has admitted to being cucked by his girlfriend while he watched on the same bed.
I couldn't help but take notice of one of his more recent viral clips where he openly defends getting cucked.
So I wanted to break this down, like, because this was, imagine seeing the girl you love, like, love her? Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, love her. I was about to say I love. Like, now let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
And you allowed the love of your life to get by another man.
What happened to the other?
I'm crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw it, like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't.
It's fair to say that by the time the beef with Charlie had finally died down, Sneako's reputation was very firmly buried. After seeing him try to spin being cucked as a good thing, nobody was going to buy his alpha male persona anymore. So to compensate, Sneako developed the habit of quickly calling out the other creators for a face-to-face fight whenever he has a disagreement.
Chat, I'm not reacting to a stream. This guy's pissed me off, and you can tell him this. I want to meet him in person. 17K Rumble W. W's in the chat not only for this guy being but also for the fact that I just lapped you on Rumble.
But then, when Brendan Buckingham accepts this challenge for a fight, Sneako chickens out of it because he's afraid he might get beat up.
I'd rather sit at home and yell at a camera, tell jokes than, risk my manhood falling flat for Brandon Buckingham, if I lose the...
Later on, Sneako would get into trouble with a nerdy-looking assassin named Mikey Musumeci. Sneako would start the fight by insulting the sport Mikey loves, calling jiu-jitsu an activity for autistic people, and mocking the way Mikey talks and looks.
How to fight heel hook, but...
Jiu-jitsu is for autistic people.
What I think a master of jiu-jitsu is somebody that inspires another generation.
Jiu-jitsu, I swear, this is why I like striking. This is a competition where it's an art and it's an art form, and I learned from the master. He looks like Mark Zuckerberg. He shouldn't be winning.
So much credit. I did his move on him. So that's like a master to student. He's an idol of mine for being...
It's like a master to the student. This is a leg heel lock.
Mikey saw the clip and wasn't too pleased. He made his own video directly calling out Sneako for a face-to-face fight.
So today I'm going to talk about bullies. Bullies are weak people that make fun of others around them, that give themselves relevance, and that make themselves feel good. They pick on the differences of humans, which is the most beautiful part of humans, their uniqueness. I really don't like bullies, guys. And there's this guy named Sneako making fun of me, making fun of my friend, making fun of jiu-jitsu. He calls himself a boxer. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Let's have an MMA fight. I challenge Sneako to an MMA fight. I'm gonna shut his mouth and I'm gonna take the bully's lunch.
The video went viral. Sneako's audience was demanding he respond and accept the challenge. However, it was obvious that Sneako was in way over his head, as Mikey was a world-class fighter and one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners on the face of the planet. Sneako would get pummeled and he knew it, leading him to respond to Mikey's challenge with an unreasonable condition.
Mikey Musumeci, fine. I accept your offer. I will fight you in MMA under one condition, because you accused me of being a bully. I called you a Mark Zuckerberg lookalike, and I've never seen a world champion accuse somebody with no experience of being a bully. But I accept. I understand why you're upset. One condition, because I don't need the money, I'm an active income. You need to tell your sparring partner and your lookalike, Mark Zuckerberg, to have a 1-hour conversation with me about who controls the world, and then I'll fight you, inshallah. I'll see you soon, Mikey. Look forward to it.
It was clear Sneako was trying to duck the fight. Although Mikey does casually know Mark Zuckerberg, it was unreasonable for him to be able to get the billionaire to do a sit-down with Sneako of all people. And Mikey knew it too.
Alright, so obviously Sneako doesn't want to fight me, adding in all these stupid stipulations he knows will never happen. Typical bully. They talk and they talk, beyond the safety of their screen, or even in the bathroom, recklessly, and they never face consequences. There's so many people out there like him. My goal here was to stand up to a bully. Kids, get yourself into Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu so you can learn self-defense and you don't have to deal with idiots like Sneako.
As a result of that, Sneako was able to worm his way out of that situation. Following that though, Sneako did start to spar with pros in order to get better at fighting. Not a bad move, but it has since produced even more embarrassing gym moments for Sneako, like him getting pounded when he went up against Sean Strickland. Just a couple of months prior to that, almost the exact same thing happened with Bradley Martin. Bradley isn't a professional fighter, but he was a lot bigger than Sneako. He was able to land multiple blows on Sneako's head and eventually knocked him to the floor.
Get up, 30 seconds.
It's important to remember though, that Sneako getting his teeth punched out of his face is something he deserves. And just to remind everyone of how big of a douchebag he really is, Sneako decided to smoke a cigarette in Bradley Martin's gym, even though he had been warned not to do that previously.
Yo, I'm not kidding though. I'll smash your camera right now. No, I'm not playing. I'll smash.
This didn't end well for Sneako. He was obviously trying to be spicy to annoy Bradley after he embarrassed him in the spot, but it just ended up in Bradley pressing Sneako and him cowardly backing down.
Oh, but I'm not good. I'm not good with that. It's not, the joke's done. The joke's done. Yeah. I'm not kidding. Okay. I'll take that shit out too. You do that shit again, I'm gonna end this. I'll smash this goddamn camera right in front of your face. You don't do that. You do that shit again. I swear to God. I swear to God, bro.
If it wasn't pretty obvious at this point that the only people who enjoy Sneako's content were little kids, when this interaction he had at a Dodgers game pretty much confirmed it.
Andrew Tate! The woman!
What? No, wait. We love women.
What? Not like...
Even though the clip might be funny, you have to wonder if this is the first time ever that Sneako has ever got to confront the effect his toxic, extremist, brain-dead content is having on the generation. He's literally grooming incels. And even something as harrowing as that isn't going to stop Sneako from embarrassing himself making this terrible content.
Yes, sir. We love everybody. No.